Good morning, friends. I am Neelamjha, ex-Chief Manager, Faculty, Central Bank of India. Our today's topic for discussion is the sovereign green bonds. Over the last few years, green bonds have emerged as an important financial instrument to deal with the threats of climate change and related challenges. The International Finance Corporation, as well as various organizations, have been reporting time and again that how this climate change is threatening communities and economies, and the kind of dire risks it poses for the agriculture, food, and water supplies. You all would agree that a lot of financing is needed to address these challenges seriously. It is critical to join the missing dots and connect the environmental projects with capital markets and investors and channel the capital towards sustainable development. And green bonds are a way to make that connection. In line with the commitment to significantly reduce the carbon intensity of the economy, the Union Budget 22-23 made an announcement to issue the sovereign green bonds. The Honorable Finance Minister reiterated that the government stands committed to reducing the emissions intensity of GDP by 45% from the 2005 levels by 2030 and achieving about 50% cumulative electric power installation capacity from non-fossil fuel based energy resources by the same year. See, the country's climate actions have till now been more or less largely financed from domestic resources. And it is now that we are targeting the generation of additional global financial resources. The issuance of the sovereign green bonds will help the Indian government in tapping the requisite finance from potential investors for deployment in public sector projects aimed at reducing the carbon intensity of the economy. If we look back, the first ever green bond was issued by the World Bank in the year 2008. So, what are sovereign green bonds? They are fixed interest bearing financial instruments issued by any sovereign entity, intergovernmental groups or alliances and corporates with the aim that the proceeds of the bonds are utilized for projects classified as environmentally sustainable. So, except for the objective of fund utilization, green bonds are like any other government bonds. And the objective is that the funds raised from investors are meant to be used to support initiatives that have a good influence on the environment. Now coming to the framework of green bonds. It was issued by the government on 9th of November 22. The framework is based on the International Capital Market Association's listed principles for issuing the green bonds, which has 4 components: use of proceeds, project evaluation and selection, management of proceeds and reporting. The proceeds raised from sovereign green bonds by the government, they are to be used to finance or refinance expenditure in parts or whole for various green projects including renewable energy, clean transportation, sustainable water and waste management, pollution control, and of course the green buildings. For renewable energy sector, investments may be made in solar, wind, biomass and hydropower energy projects. Now, how will these green bonds be issued? As you know, Reserve Bank of India issues a half-yearly calendar of government borrowings from bonds. The government will inform the RBI about the amount of eligible green expenditure and the funding required from green bonds. The central bank issued the calendar in January this year because the government released the framework in November 22 only. But from next year, the green bonds will be included in the general calendar. For current year, that is financial year 23, the government had earmarked rupees 16,000 crores for green bonds to be issued in two tranches of rupees 8,000 crores each in auctions on January 25th and February 9th. These bonds issued in maturities of 5 years and 10 years and can be traded just like any other government bonds. Reserve Bank of India, it auctioned its maiden sovereign green bonds worth rupees 8,000 crore, and these comprised of sovereign green bonds 2028 and sovereign green bonds 2033 with a cut-off yield of 7.10% and 7.29% respectively, a few basis points lower than the GSEC of same tenure. The inaugural sovereign green bonds issued by India reflect the growing policy focus to scale up the domestic financing capacity on climate mitigation and adaptation. So, what is therein for the investors? You got to view it as a part of environmental, social and governance, that is ESG investing, right? Green bonds provide investors a means to hedge against climate change risks while achieving at least similar, if not better, returns on their investments. And in this way, the growth in green bonds and green finance, it also indirectly works to disincentivize the high carbon emitting projects. The issuer of the green bond does not necessarily offer a higher return than any conventional bond. But the adjusted return of the green bond could be higher than conventional bonds, as the credit and liquidity profile of the green bonds are expected to be better. This is attributed to the favorable policy, regulations, and of course, the positive market sentiment. And there is also some evidence that suggests that green bonds, they are traded at a premium called the greenium compared to the conventional bonds. The green bonds will not only boost India's efforts towards energy transition, but will also make finances available for green infrastructure and renewable energy projects. Environmentally conscious, climate resilient projects are the need of the hour, and sovereign green bonds issued by the government is a great step in achieving this objective. That's all for now. Thank you.